And 3, 2, 1, action! Action! Cut!
Avalon is the season opener of season 9. It's a 2-hour opener, and we've been sort of treating it as a pilot of season 1 because there's just so much in the episode. You know, at the end of season 8, we resolved a lot of story arcs, and so now we're introducing some new components to the show. Arthurian mythology, you know, as opposed to the Egyptian mythology that the show has been dealing with in the past. We're introduced to the Ori, and that's basically expounding upon the ancients and where the ancients came from. And it's really developing that whole component of the show further. It introduces new characters and new scenarios and situations in the show which are really breathing or infusing a new energy and a new life into the Stargate franchise, which is wonderful. Scene 43 is when Dr. Lee is attempting to actually remove the gold bracelet from Daniel Jackson. And he's been in the special effects truck now for about the last 3.5 hours, working on his grinding skills to try to take it off of Daniel Jackson's wrists. So, you know, actor action, we'll see what happens.
That's the third blade I've gone through. I'm not going to be able to cut it off the hand. If we remove the hand, no, I know that on first blush that doesn't sound like a viable option, but I understand that Dr. Bennett is becoming quite proficient at reattaching.
I thought SG-12 checked everything she had on her.
They come into this cave, and what is revealed is a sword and a stone, which is, of course, very Arthurian. Mitchell tries to remove the sword from the stone, and at that point, the holographic image of Merlin appears, and Merlin sort of begins this whole sort of series of riddles that they have to solve. They split up into teams. They each go to respective caves, and there's great jeopardy at that point, which you only get to see if you watch the actual episode.
And cut!
That was great. That was fun. We dropped that thing a little lower than we probably should have, because the guys on the other side would be squashed like bugs.
There's only one truth. This pot says the treasure's in this pot.
So did either of them.
I know, we did it wrong, so we have to see if we can do it again. There is only one truth. The universe is infinite, therefore, the statement about the treasure being in this pot has to be false, so the treasure must be in...
Well, what we're setting up here for now is the first shot in a sword fight sequence with Mitchell and this cool new knight that appeared as a result of him pulling the sword out of the stone. So it's sort of the next stage of the riddle. They thought they solved everything, but obviously they haven't. So this is the next stage, and so he's taking some of his baseball skills now to take care of the knight. There's going to be some sweet candy action happening here soon. Weird.
You done this before?
Fight a knight in armor. No, can't say that I have.
Well, you're doing good.
Took a little fencing in college.
So what we're doing is we're basically setting up, establishing the village for the first time. There's a scene that took place inside, and now we're going to be bridging this scene with having them walk out into the village for the first time, and they run into a villager who recognizes them as Herod and Salas. So we'll be cutting to that particular person's point of view, which will be not Daniel and Vala, but Herod and Salas. And then we jump back to the audience perspective, which of course is Daniel and Vala. And I could just keep sort of repeating this as a continuous loop over and over in as much of a monotone voice as I possibly can. And that's kind of it in the most basic Coles Notes version I could possibly give you. It's such an episode loaded with new things that it's to just glaze over what it's about is a difficult thing.
Welcome to the SGC. I'm General Landry.
Vala Maldoran. Thank you so much for the lovely greeting party. We all had a wonderful time searching each other, didn't we, boys? haven't, Matt. That I'm sure I would remember.
Lieutenant Colonel Cameron Mitchell. Nice outfit.
Thanks.
Well, season 9 has an interesting new life and new energy and new feel because of the introduction of all the new characters. Ben Browder and Claudia Black from Farscape. Beau Bridges, incredible man. Lexa Doig from Andromeda, who's also Michael Shanks' wife, which is great, keeps it all in the family. It's neat having all these new faces and these new wonderful, strong characters, and the vibe on the set for me was fantastic. It was such an infusion of new life and new energy, and it totally feels like season 1 of a new show, but with a great deal of familiarity because of the existing franchise and a lot of the existing characters. Michael Shanks and Chris Judge, I mean, I feel that vibe is really carried through to them. I feel that they're feeding off of the new energy as well. And it's really positive. I mean, I haven't felt like this since season 1, honestly. I mean, I've always had a ball on this show, but this year it's for me really started off with a wonderful, fresh new energy. And not just with all the new cast that we're introducing as well, we've got a lot of new crew members. And that's sort of played into it as well, into that sort of energy and enthusiasm that has always been there but is now taken another step forward. It's very cool. There was a big sequence in this new sort of medieval village where Claudia Black's character Vala is imprisoned and is basically burned at the stake. Those sequences are always challenging, from a safety perspective, because you're incorporating people into fire, which is always sort of scary. I personally have a fear of fire anyway, so it sort of resonates for me even more. But yeah, it was a very challenging sequence to shoot and to make it believable. We had to use a stunt double for quite a bit of the sequence. The difficulties technically are you want to incorporate the actor into fire. So the set piece itself, basically it's a large dais with a series of troughs, and this sort of liquid fire gets closer and closer to Vala, who's in the center, and ultimately the fire ignites her and she bursts into flames. So there's the suspense beats of the fire getting closer, and that was fine. It was difficult from a production standpoint just to sort of be able to sell and physically see Claudia as an actress tied into the fire and not have it too smoky or get too close where she's getting too hot. Choreographing shots that sell all those components and tying into the other characters that are in the scene. That's difficult. We did a lot of VisFX comp shots that helped matters, where we set up a high angle shot and we would lock that off, and we would put Claudia in for one plate where she's basically acting to nothing. Then we bring the extras in and they're doing the same thing. We have the special effects guys light all the fire, and so we have the fire component, the extras, the actress, all in separate plates, and we mix those together to make one big comp shot, which is cool, and it's a safe way of doing it.
Okay, listen to me! Listen to me, you have to believe me! You're killing an innocent person!
Daniel!
Blessed are those that deliver us from evil.
The new set, this medieval village that Bridget and Tom designed and built in the special effects stage, it's a huge set. It's an interior, exterior, practical set. There's 1 million watts of lights that are hanging. There's a full daylight cyc screen around the outside of it. It's a wonderful set to shoot in because you've got so many angles and so many opportunities to essentially do whatever you want. You're not limited to certain angles. Of course, the challenge with having a set that big is filling it up with the necessary amount of people. And fortunately, production realized that the only way to really sell it is to put, 100 people, 100 extras in there. And for me and for the assistant directors, it was great. It allowed us to do, large-scale shots that we didn't have to continuously cheat people into the shot. It was great. I mean, it's difficult because it just means that it takes a little bit more time to choreograph the shots and to execute them, but it ultimately just gives you so much more freedom and flexibility because you're not limited to shooting just very tight, specific angles. You can shoot, as I said, wide scope shots that incorporate a lot of elements. We had animals, we had all the extras, all the cast. We had cranes, we had all the toys. It was great. Felt like you were on a feature film. For me, there was a lot of sequences that were a lot of fun to shoot. Basically anything that had Claudia in it, because she's just so great to work with. And Ben, both of those people are such incredible collaborators. Not that the cast that we have aren't, they are. They really, really are, but they just brought such a new level of enthusiasm. And also, for that matter, with Beau Bridges. I mean, how cool was it to walk on set and have Beau Bridges to work with? I mean, it was just such a great experience. And I had so much fun on this episode. I can't really specify if there was one standout moment, because there were just so many for me as a director. Like every day it was always fun stuff that we were doing, honestly.